We turn now to new development in the story we've been closely following here. Concern over the chemicals used to waterproof the turnout gear worn by America's firefighters. Now, the International Association of Firefighters has decided to break off its relationships and reject any future funding from any company using those chemicals, and offering full support for a series of lawsuits filed on behalf of firefighters claiming their cancers were caused by those very chemicals. America's firefighters are responding to a new kind of alarm that could put them at risk. About a class of chemicals that's been used for years to waterproof what's known as their turnout gear.
It's added to the turnout gear to keep them dry. When a firefighter is actively using a hose, they get wet. If you are carrying 60 pounds of gear already, adding 40 extra pounds of water weight when you get wet is a real, it cuts down the time that a firefighter can be active on scene.
But Professor Graham Peasley at Notre Dame University, who's been studying the turnout gear used by fire departments across the country, says the chemical used most widely until recently, known by its shorthand C8, presents its own risk to firefighters.
There's a strong correlation between the C8 form of this chemical and two types of cancer, testicular cancer and kidney cancer.
It's the same class of chemicals in the foam used by firefighters to put out certain kinds of fires. It's all led to a series of lawsuits and a warning now from the International Association of Firefighters. And we're joined now by Ed Kelly, who's the president of the International Association of Firefighters. Mr. Kelly, thank you so much for being with us.
Brian, thank you, and thank you for shedding light on this very important subject.
You say it's no coincidence that there's increased rates of cancer among firefighters.
Well, even going back to for decades, we've known that the exposures that we endure when we respond to fires, when burning materials are off-gassing, expose us to carcinogens and lead to higher rates of cancer. What is a new revelation is that our actual personal protective equipment, our bunker gear, is actually infused with carcinogens that we now know we're re-exposing ourselves time and time again. So this is a new threat that has emerged, new reality of how we're being exposed to these carcinogens.
You also say that the companies that sell this gear with this chemical are engaged in a public deception. What do you mean?
Yeah, we would really like to know when these companies knew that these carcinogens were exposing us, and what did they do about it? And I can tell you from our end, we know that they've denied any wrongdoing.
So for your firefighter members, this must feel like a great betrayal to be furnished this gear only to learn that it's causing a potential cancer.
In my opinion, it's led to countless deaths amongst firefighters at a young age. And we are committed to taking this fight on. Our members spoke loud and clear at our convention. We don't want to be in bed with any chemical companies. And when it comes to, these chemical companies and what they've told us, we're actively pursuing congressional hearings to bring people before Congress to find out what they knew, when they knew it, and what did they do about it. Because our members deserve answers, and our families of our fallen deserve answers.
It was the case of a Massachusetts firefighter, Paul Cotter, that helped to spur the research.
I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in October of 2014. I had treatment, surgery early in 15, and had to retire from the job.
At any point when you were serving as a fire lieutenant on the force there, did you have any kind of warning that there was this potential harm from the turnout gear, the chemicals used to coat it?
No, none at all. None at all. No one ever thought about the gear as being dangerous.
But
we wore it all the time. We wore it shopping. We wore it sitting around in the kitchen. It was our safety net, our gear.
It was only after Cotter's cancer diagnosis, when his wife Diane began to do her own research and contacted the Notre Dame professor, that he learned of the potential risk.
I was pissed. And there's a lot of firefighters are in the same boat that I am.
It led Diane to become a champion in the cause to investigate the use of the chemicals in firefighters' turnout gear.
It changed everything, Brian. When I tell you it changed everything, believe me, you don't want that cancer diagnosis. I get very emotional speaking about it because he was a fireman's firefighter. So even now, 5 years later, it's difficult to talk about. This is a epic disaster as far as we're concerned. We call it the greatest deception ever.
No direct link has been proven between the chemicals used on the turnout gear and any specific firefighter's cancer diagnosis, but a growing number of firefighters are demanding answers.
Meanwhile, your members have to put on that turnout gear every day they respond to a fire.
That's true. That's true. And it's a painful reality of the situation that we're in.
So finally, what's your message to your firefighter members?
That we're taking this fight head on and we're not going to back down to anybody. And that we're going to find a solution to this problem.
All right. Ed Kelly, president of the International Association of Firefighters, thank you so much for being with us here this evening.
Brian, thank you.
The companies named in the lawsuit and cited by the firefighters group have all said they believe the chemicals were safe when they used them. And a number of the companies say they no longer use the chemicals in question. Up next, this week's winners and losers in the media. See if you agree with the editors of Mediaite and what they have to say. You're watching Brian Ross Investigates on the Law and Crime Trial Network.
Hi, this is Dan Abrams with exciting news for all of our Law and Crime followers on YouTube. You can now get the live Law and Crime Network with YouTube TV for all of your daily live trial coverage, legal news, expert analysis, and original true crime programs. Subscribe to YouTube TV today and then locate Law and Crime in the channel guide. And for only $1.99 a month, you can add the network to your bundle. Watch Law and Crime every day with YouTube TV. We put you in the jury box.